everything seems alright for the first act, but then suddenly in the second act, everyone either becomes sad or starts dying. Actually, now that I think about it, that's literally all musicals, but today, we are here to continue talking about Be More Chill, because as we've established, I'm basic! So at the end of last video, Christine was telling Jeremy about the guy that she'd kind of be into, only for it to turn out to be Jake instead of him. Jeremy starts getting mad at the Squib for not getting Christine to like him, because, you know, that's definitely the Squib's fault, and it's not that Christine just isn't attracted to you in that way, because believe it or not, sometimes people just aren't attracted to other people in that way, and sometimes men and women can have platonic relationships without one party being gay. That's like the one line in the entire musical in which I don't like Jeremy. Every other time, he is a small boy who needs a hug. Because the Squib will never pass up a chance to blame Jeremy for something, it tells Jeremy that he needs to get a temporary girlfriend to make himself more popular that he can use now and then ditch for Christine later. Or, as the Squib puts it, he needs to upgrade. I mentioned briefly in the last video that while Jeremy was at the mall, the Squib made him buy an M&M t-shirt. Well, here's the payoff for that, and I promise you, it is wonderful. Jeremy's wearing the M&M t-shirt during this scene. So then, later on in the scene, Brooke comes walking around the corner, and the Squib is like, tear ducts, activate. So then Jeremy just starts crying really loudly. So then Brooke runs over, and she's like, oh, Jeremy. And Jeremy's like, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm crying. And Brooke responds, well, I do. They're saying it was a freak hockey accident. And Jeremy just has absolutely no idea what she's talking about. Oh my god. You don't know. Eminem's dead! Jeremy asks the Squib if it knew that Eminem was going to die. It responds, of course not. Jeremy then asks the Squib if it was a coincidence that he had him wear the Eminem shirt on the day when Eminem died. The Squib responds, of course not. Then we get what just might be the two funniest lines in the entire musical. Did you kill Eminem? Not exactly. So, apparently the Squib's quantum processor gives it the ability to see possible futures, because plot. So, while the Squib didn't know that Eminem would be impaled by that rogue hockey stick, he was aware of the possibility of a favorable outcome, to which Jeremy wonders, favorable for who? But before Jeremy has the chance to think too hard about it, Brooke whisks him away for the next musical number. This song starts out pretty normally, but then the Squib joins in on it, and it gets really freaking creepy really freaking fast. Jeremy overhears a conversation between Jake and Christine, in which Jake confirms that he actually does like Christine, and he's not flirting around with any other girls, and the two pretty much just start dating right then and there. The Squib uses this as another chance to emotionally manipulate this poor child, telling him that he can, like, slowly date his way through other girls until he, like, rises up the popularity meter or whatever so he can date Christine. Fun fact for the guys out there, don't, like, just date other girls to try and, like, work your way up the popularity scale and, like, not because you don't actually like them. Because, if you're dating someone because you don't actually like them and you're, like, treating them like crap or whatever, word spreads among the girls, and we typically don't want to date guys who are gonna, like, do that or have a history of doing that. And, like, generally this strategy just, like, doesn't work at all, so, like, stop. Jeremy gets overwhelmed by all the different directions his mind is pulling him, so he asks for the Squib to turn off for a few minutes while he just, like, sits and thinks about it. During this interlude, he runs into Michael, who oddly isn't happy to see Jeremy, because he claims that Jeremy has been avoiding him all day. Jeremy realizes that he hasn't seen Michael all day, so he turns the Squib back on to ask it about this. The Squib says that he has been blocking Michael from Jeremy's optic nerves, telling him that Michael is a link to Jeremy 1.0, and that if Jeremy wants to upgrade, he needs to be willing to make sacrifices. Michael realizes that the Squib must have activated after all, and he gets so freaking happy about it, okay? Even though his favorite person has been avoiding him all day, he's still happy for him because the two of them have been losers for so long that the concept of even one of them being popular is just mind-blowing to him. Why is Michael so cute? Jesus freaking Christ. And here, Jeremy is left with a choice. Does he stay a loser, or does he upgrade? Here we actually get a bit of diversion between the two versions of the show. In the original 2015 version, Jeremy just gets his own verse in the upgrade song, and that's it. However, in the 2018 version, they take Jeremy's verse in the upgrade song and they change the lyrics a bit so that they can be sung by the Squip instead. Then afterwards, Jeremy gets his own completely new song that I think better explains his thought process for the decision that he's about to make. I don't really 100% like the new song. I don't think it's as catchy or good as the other songs in the musical, but I do appreciate that it's here because I really feel like Jeremy gets a lot of crap from the Be More Chill fandom, both for the decision that he's about to make and some decisions he makes later in the musical that he doesn't really deserve. Well, he deserves some of it, because in this musical, he does make some terrible decisions and hurt a lot of people. But you have to keep in mind that Jeremy already probably has extreme anxiety and self-hatred issues, and having a little voice in the back of his head, A, probably isn't helping that very much, and B, that would probably mess with someone's sanity and, impair their judgment, just a little bit. Also, the new song says in its lyrics that Jeremy hates himself so much that he doesn't trust his own instincts anymore, and that's why he's so willing to trust the Squip. I mean, y'all know how much I hate myself, and I don't think even I have reached that level yet, which is concerning. Why is this kid so psychologically broken? Oh my god. Again, I'm not saying that Jeremy should have made some of the decisions that he makes, but I think it's important to consider why he may have done what he did, and I think this new song helps illustrate that point a little bit more, so I'm glad that it's here. However, when they rewrote the upgrade song, they accidentally removed my favorite line of the entire musical. I don't really know why I love this line so much. I just feel like it's a very good description of Jeremy's character, and also I relate to it a lot as well. So, I'm kind of sad to see that go, but honestly, if it leads to my boy Jeremy getting less hate, I am 100% down with it. So yes, as you've probably guessed by now, Jeremy does decide to take the upgrade, and in the process, he turns the optic nerve blocking of Michael back on. It's important to note that the Squip does not do this for him. Jeremy requests it himself. This is one of the things that people tend to get pissy about in regards to Jeremy, and I can't help but feel that it's only because it affected Michael. Jeremy kind of treats Brooke terribly during this story as well, because, he's dating her, but he doesn't actually like her. It's just to try and get into Christine's pants later on. But you don't see as many people get upset about that kind of thing, whereas Jeremy succumbs to the personification of anxiety itself one freaking time, and all of a sudden he's like Satan incarnate. Yes, we get it. You like Michael. So does literally everyone who has ever seen this musical ever. You can calm down now. This marks the end of the musical's first act, and the second act opens up on Jake's Halloween party. God dang it, I forgot to do the line about Jake's parents. Alright, we gotta go back to Act 1, everybody. So, back in the upgrade song, I mentioned there was that part where Jake and Christine were talking. Well, during that part, this happens. My parents won't be home, so it's alright. They laundered money, now they're on the run. But that's illegal. Which means the house is empty, so that's fun. Jake acts like he doesn't care about his family situation at all, but it is very subtly implied that he's actually really bothered by it. Well, in the newer version of the show, it's a little less subtle, but still, for this musical, it's still really nuanced. Jake feels like he would be the character who's easiest to make fanfics and headcanons about, because so much of his character is left up to interpretation. And as we hear from Chloe, although he's not necessarily a bad person, he does do some not-so-good things sometimes. So as a result, Jake ends up being a lot more of an interesting character than you'd think that he would be. So everybody's heading to Jake's parentless house for his Halloween party, and they're all singing about, their plans for the night or their costumes or something, and Rich's line in the song is, "I stole my older brother's Jason mask, and I don't have a machete, but a loaf of bread will do." Honestly, I relate so much to this line because last year when I went trick-or-treating, I didn't know I was going until the day before Halloween, so then I all of a sudden come home from school and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, can you make me a Mario mustache out of, some random wire that you found in duct tape? Okay, thank you." There's this disconnect between Christine and Jake at the party because they were gonna go as prince and princess, and Christine rented out this, authentic Renaissance-era princess dress. And actually, in the 2018 version of the show, she's literally wearing the dress that she played when she was Juliet in Romeo and Juliet. And the thing is, I've never seen a video bootleg of the scene, so I don't actually know what Jake is wearing at this party. But based on the dialogue, I like to imagine that he's wearing, like, a Burger King crown, and he's got, like, one of those wrapping paper tubes, and he's pretending that it's a sword, like, running around whacking people on the head with it. Anyway, according to the script, then a dance-off between Jeremy and Jake occurs. Just for some reason, like, but who, what? Anyway, after this spontaneous dance fight, Chloe takes Jeremy upstairs to Jake's parents' room, telling him that Brooke has a surprise planned for him. As you could probably infer, Brooke has no surprises planned for Jeremy this evening. I should probably let you all know that right about now, Chloe is about to start sexually assaulting Jeremy. It doesn't get super bad, but at the same time, I could still completely understand why someone who, like, has a history of this, or just someone who's having a good day would not want to hear me describe this. So if you just rather not hear about it in detail, you can skip to this time code right here. Basically, Chloe has become rather jealous of Brooke, so in a drunken attempt to try and get back at her or whatever, she's going to try and do the you-know-what with her boyfriend. And if he doesn't consent to it, she's gonna try and force it. Yeah! Jeremy realizes what's going on pretty quickly, and he doesn't really want to do it with Chloe, so he tries to leave the room and get away from that situation, but the squip makes him unable to stand up, and then later on, when Jeremy asks the squip to get him out of that situation, the squip responds by saying that it didn't understand the request. Holy fucking hell. So, like, theoretically, had this scene gone farther than it did, you're telling me that the squip can force Jeremy to be raped because it will improve his life. What would the squip even be guilty of in this situation? Like some sort of, like, secondhand rape? Or would he just count as, like, something that Jeremy was under the influence of, so he wasn't, like, able to make his own decisions? But, wait, I'm asking this as if you could, like, take the squip to court. How do you even take a supercomputer to court? Wait, would the supercomputer just be able to, like, summon up the perfect defense so you couldn't acquit it? This is opening up so many questions that I did not think I was going to have to ask over the course of this musical. Fortunately for Jeremy, the situation does not reach that level. Like, Chloe gets her shirt off and she's, like, straddling him, but that's about as far as it gets. However, she does force alcohol down his throat in an attempt to impair his judgment. Okay, like, here's the thing. I know that during this whole scenario, Chloe was, like, very, very drunk and very, very angry, but still, Jesus freaking Christ, what does this say about her as a person? However, alcohol has a rather strange effect on the squip. It starts speaking to Jeremy in Japanese. Like, the thing is that it shouldn't really be that funny, but I don't know. Something about Eric William Morris, the guy who plays the squip, something about him speaking Japanese is inherently humorous. I don't know what it is. It's just funny, okay? Anyway, Jake hears from somebody that Jeremy and Chloe are screwing in his parents' bed, and he is, like, really, really not happy about that. So he starts banging on the door very, very aggressively and making some rather obscure threats that Chloe has some rather obscure responses to. Brooke also starts pounding on the door because she heard the same rumor and she thinks her boyfriend's cheating on her. Eventually, Jake goes away, so Chloe thinks she's in the clear, but then, apparently, when Jake couldn't get into the room for the door, he decided, screw it, I'm just gonna burst through the goddamn window. Insert Hamilton reference here. Jeremy runs out of the room while he's still trying to get his shirt back on, and Brooke sees him and obviously assumes something, so she runs away crying. Jeremy can't think straight right now, so he locks himself in the bathroom so that he can have some time to think by himself, but he finds out that Michael is already in that bathroom. He's not, like, going to the bathroom. He's just hiding in there Because, I mean, technically he wasn't, like, invited to the party, but, like, at the same time, what even is an invitation anyways? Even though he's still mad at Jeremy, he does try to warn him about what he found out about the squib. There was this guy who took a squib, and, yeah, his life improved for a little bit. It went pretty good. It's just that now he's kind of, sort of, maybe inside a mental institution. Jeremy's convinced that Michael is lying to him because he's jealous of his popularity, and he literally blows up at Michael. Like, he gets really, really angry. And despite this, Michael tries to give Jeremy one last warning. It wasn't the squib that made the guy crazy. He went crazy trying to get it out. Jeremy tells Michael that he's not going to have to worry about that, and he tries to leave. Michael tries to block him from exiting the bathroom, and Jeremy tells him, "Get out of my way, loser." That last word is important because every other time in the musical when Jeremy has used that word, it has been in reference to himself and Michael. They were losers together. But not anymore. This is the other thing that people get really mad at Jeremy for. And, like, the thing is, yes, leaving Michael in that bathroom, not listening to him, that was a jerk move. But consider that, A, not only is there all that stuff I've mentioned about, like, Jeremy being screwed up psychologically, he was just sexually assaulted, and he has had alcohol forced down his throat, so he's having his judgment impaired even more. Like, honestly, with those 3 factors all together, I'm surprised he didn't get even more mad at Michael. Right before we get smacked in the face by the real depression, we get one really funny line. Because, like, there's this girl named Jenna. She's, like, an actual character in the story. She just hasn't done anything important yet, so I haven't gotten the chance to mention her. But trust me, Jenna's awesome. We are going to get more Jenna love in the next video, if I make a next video, which I probably will, let's be honest. But anyway, this girl Jenna, she goes up to the bathroom door and she's knocking on it, and she's like, "Hello, some of us have to pee, you know." And then Michael's like, "I'm having my period." And then, like, Jenna pauses for a moment, and then she's just like, "Take your time, honey." And then she walks away. And then it happens. That song, that one freaking song that will ruin your entire day. Michael in the bathroom. Okay, so for the rest of this video, I'm going to be assuming that everyone watching has listened to Michael in the bathroom. So, like, please just go listen to the song. It's a good song. It's only like 5 minutes long. It's not going to kill you even if you don't like it for some freaking reason. I recommend you try and find one where, like, you can, like, the actual, like, actor is doing it. If not on stage, like, there's a video of him recording it in the sound booth. Watch that video. Because, Jesus Christ, his freaking face, he looks so sad, he will literally make you cry. So, like, just go watch the song now. So, welcome back. Are you dead inside yet? One thing you may be wondering after listening to that song is, gay? A lot of the lyrics to the song are very reminiscent of, like, being broken up with for the first time. And even if that isn't supposed to be implying that Jeremy and Michael are secretly in love, which, I mean, like, let's be honest, that's what it is implying. But, like, if it wasn't implying that, that's still a testament to how deep the friendship is between Jeremy and Michael, and how much it hurts Michael to just have it suddenly ended for reasons that completely aren't his fault. Are we sure this musical is called Be More Chill and not Middle School Simulator? And to think that I wasn't even able to get to the freaking fire in this video. Well, I'll probably be discussing that next week, because, I mean, let's be honest here, I have no other video ideas, and I'm Be More Chill Trash, so yeah, this is probably also going to be happening next week as well. Abby, I'll see you on Friday!